Hey guys, to talk about how to do the binomial PDF on your TI, we are going to use question number 2 from our test review, which I think the original one I posted actually had an incorrect number in here because of something that I'll talk to you about on this video that's really important. That is to read the problem carefully and figure out which numbers you actually need to put into the calculator. So this particular question, on any given day, the chance that John shows up late for work is 65%. So that's our probability. We decide to observe if John is late or not over the next 25 days. So that's the number of events we are looking at using the binomial function. So find the probability that he is late exactly 20 times. So what that means is, and the reason I have exactly and PDF in the binomial PDF highlighted red is because if we are just looking at exactly 20 times, that's just kind of one column in our histogram. Say if our histogram looked like this, only one of these columns, would represent the number 20. Okay, let me see if I can so I can click on these to have a better idea of what I'm talking about. What you're looking at now is if all of those columns are highlighted, that means adding all of those columns up. But right now we're just looking at having like one column highlighted. So that's when you use the binomial PDF. So what we're gonna do, and this is the easier part, what we're gonna do is you go second vars on your calculator. Okay, so here's your calculator. You go second var, and we need to arrow all the way down to binomial PDF. Remember, that's the one that we wanted to use. So it's A on my calculator. And then it'll ask you some questions. If you have an older calculator, I'll get to that in a moment. But the number of trials, remember we were looking 25 days at late buses, right? So the number of trials was 25. The probability or the proportion was 65%, so we put 0.65. Remember, calculators can only use decimal. And the X value, what I want to know is what is the probability that the bus will be late exactly 20 times. So I put 20 there, enter on paste. Now I'm gonna stop here before I hit enter to get my answer, because if you have an older calculator, instead of getting that nice little screen where you get to input in all of those numbers like I just did, you will just get binom PDF parenthesis, and then you need to enter these things in. So what you do is you put the number of trials first, and then you're gonna put a comma, and then you put the probability, and then a comma, and then the number you're looking for. Okay, then enter. So the probability of bus being late exactly 20 times is approximately 5%, 0.05. Okay. Good. Now, find the probability that he is late exactly 20, or is it late at least 20 times? And you see how I have that at least highlighted yellow and also CDF highlighted yellow. That at least means we need to add up all of the times until 20, because it doesn't want just 20, it also wants 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, right? So find the probability that he is late at least 20 times is that, and I actually might have just said this wrong, at least means we want everything above 20. So let's actually put in the correct numbers here so you can see what it looks like on this website. But remember, when you're taking the test, you won't get to use the website, you'll have to use your TI. So if we put in our 65% as our probability and our number of trials as 25, okay, at least 20 times means we want 20, we want 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, and add all of those up together. So this is what we're looking for, is the column with 20 in it and everything above. However, the way the calculator works is that it only adds up what is below. So if you look at what's white in this histogram, that is what the calculator will find up until 19. So that's why in the calculator, when we type it in, we're going to do second vars binomial CDF this time, since we're adding up more than one column. 25 stays the same, 65% stays the same, 0.65, but we put 19 here because that's going to add up. What this calculator is going to give us back is it's going to add up all of the white columns that you would find looking into, if you were looking at that histogram. Then what we do once we find that, which was 0.9174, if you type it into the calculator, you need to subtract it from 100% to find all of the actual highlighted columns, right? So if we look at our handy dandy website, the answer should be 0.0826, right? Of all of the purple added up. We're subtracting all of those white ones from 100% because everything under the curve needs to add up to be 1 or 100%. So what you can do if you actually type this into the calculator is I would say 1 minus, okay, and then second var, arrow all the way down to A. Oh, not A, B, we want the CDF. Okay, so we still have 25 trials. Our probability is still 0.65, but this time we want to add up everything up until 19. Paste. Okay, so we're gonna, whoops, I don't need that extra one. We're gonna type it in just like that. Sorry, you guys. So a little more practice. Second distribute all the way down till A. B, I mean. That's the same. Enter, enter. 0.0826. So what we're doing is we're subtracting the binomial CDF up till 19 from 100% to get that answer. Then the last example that I'll show you on the calculator is from question 2 on our exam 2 test review number E, because E says find the probability that John is late between 18 to 23 times. So we're going to have to type it in like the binomial CDF all the way up to 23, right? So if we're looking at the online GeoGebra, we want to add up all the way to 23. So this is the first thing we're going to find on the calculator, right? Is everything up to 23. But then we want to subtract out everything to 17, okay? So that what we get is 18 to 23. What would be left over if we subtract everything out to 17 would be 18 to 23. So in your TI that you'll have to use, the way you type that in is the binomial CDF of 25.65 comma 23 minus the binomial CDF of 25.65 17, okay? So if you're putting it into your calculator, you do all the way up to 23 first. Oh, I thought I could just grab it up there, but I'd have to grab the 1 too. So second var, arrow down to B, or not to B. Okay, this stays the same, but the first time I'm adding up to 23, right? And then I'm subtracting. I am subtracting. I think I can put this all in at once. Well, we'll figure that out, won't we? till 17. Okay, and I get 0.3058, approximately 30.6%. Let's check our answer on the website. So if we did 18 to 23, yep, 0.3058. Okay, so that is how you use the binomial PDF and CDF in your calculator for binomial distributions. You can also put those numbers in your one-var stats and frequency, just like we did in the video before this, in order to find your mean and standard deviation. Please let me know if you have any questions.